is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
First down. Handoff. Elliott plowing to the goal line. Buried. Sacked by Moore. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
Here are Mickey Spagnola, Brian Broaddus, Rob Phillips, and Bill Jones.
And it is time for another edition of Talkin Cowboys as we get you set for perhaps a division-clinching win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday at noon at AT&T Stadium. Mickey Spagnola will be along shortly. He's getting grilled on the radio right now, we can assume. I'm Bill Jones. Brian Broaddus is here. Rob Phillips is here. And how are you guys doing?
They weren't bad this morning.
No?
They actually asked some good questions. RJ Choppy needs to pay attention a little bit better to the line of questioning.
Ooh.
When your co-host asks a question, you listen to what the co-host asks, and then you don't ask the same question 30 seconds later.
Yeah, sometimes we get distracted.
Let me ask you this real quick about Bill. You guys are professional broadcaster type guys. When you interview people, do you honestly listen to their responses, or are you formulating another question in your head?
You are supposed to be listening. That's the idea.
That's what I thought.
Supposed to be listening.
I thought that's what the drill was all about.
Because sometimes your next question can not be what you have in your head, but based off of what the answer is that you just got, you could come up with something else.
Great interviewers will say the greatest aspect of interviewing is listening.
That's what I thought. When you get a red zone question and you answer the red zone question, and then you get another red zone question behind it, basically the same question, that's not listening, is it?
Maybe Chop didn't like your answer.
No, maybe he should have liked the pause I had for 30 seconds. That pause made him feel a little uncomfortable. Right?
Did you call him on it?
By pausing, I think I did.
Yeah.
I didn't want to call him out on the air.
Yeah,
but I just wondered.
So you waited till now.
When that's what I'm saying. When you answer questions or you're interviewing somebody, you listen to what they're saying,
right?
And then like you said, you try and formulate. Maybe there needs to be a follow up from that question.
Sure.
Maybe there needs to be something. Maybe you wanted to take it in another direction, but then you turn around and you say, "Whoa, wait a minute! I was going to go this way, but he brought something up very interesting here, or she brought something up very interesting here." And you have to find a way to kind of navigate that.
Right.
I think that too many times nowadays that you get. As an interview, you get questions, and you just feel like I have to ask these questions instead of really trying. One of the best interviewers I've ever heard is Howard Stern.
Yeah,
Howard Stern's great the way he interviews people because he gets people to open up about themselves, which I think is great. Mm-hmm. We're just talking about you, Mickey, having to probably answer the same question over and over again from RJ Choppy.
RJ did better in my segment.
Yeah.
What was the question? Yours was red zone.
Red zone question. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you just kind of tired of talking about the red zone too? Because I feel like
not really, because it's a problem.
It is.
It's a problem, and it might be the one thing that
keeps them from
going places. If not, I always give Mickey credit for this. I don't always give Mickey credit, but I'll give him credit for this. He identified the offensive line issues a long time ago. Before they were 3-5, that there were issues there, and you thought, okay, change the coach, made some things better. You won 5 games, but the issues there are. The issues that we've talked about before the 3-5 start are still there.
And
protection.
And
running the ball.
The biggest problem is not failure; it's the inability to trust.
Yeah.
To call plays that you would normally call in
absolutely
those situations.
Right. He is
because you self-scout and you're going, okay, I could call this, but I just don't have a lot of confidence.
And maybe I have to.
So why do you on 4th and 1 at the 3-yard line call a running play?
You tried to run it away from the strength.
You tried to fool him.
You tried to fool him because you didn't trust. What you did was you ran the ball to the side of Suafilo and Smith, feeling like that they were going to slant away, and then you could maybe.
Better question is, okay, then
here we go.
Why don't you just kick the field goal then?
Because you needed a touchdown.
Yeah.
Did you think they needed a touchdown?
I didn't. I thought you kicked
a field goal.
I was in
and then
favor.
They lost
Bill, you coward.
No, because of the opponent.
I always say that.
I know what you're saying, but
yeah,
because of the opponent, I didn't think the Colts were going to score a lot of points in that game. And so you didn't, as opposed to when you're playing the Eagles or the Saints, typically they're going to score more points, in my mind anyway. Okay, and I trust my defense, whatever. So it's disappointing that Olawale dropped the ball and you had a touchdown in your hand. But in my opinion, that early in the game, kick the field goal, and so that when you're not down 10-0 at the half, rather it's a 10-3 game at the half.
Right.
And then you would have been down 17.
Well, but still, I've saw several games this year, and in fact, it was whoever was playing Kansas City. I can't remember who the opponent was, and they were going for it all the time on fourth down. Now that goes against what I'm saying, because Kansas City is going to score a lot of points.
Yeah.
But they lost that game because they kept going for it on fourth down. Whoever it was, I can't remember. And
Was it a Pittsburgh? Was it
in the first half of the game? I'm going.
It's a Mike
Wait
Tomlin
a second.
thing.
Okay, had you kicked field goals to get 6 points on those two possessions, you wouldn't be down 14-0 at the half. This will be a one-score game.
It was a long 1 yard, it looked like, but we've given Jason Garrett credit for knowing the condition of his team. We talked about the overtime game in Philly, and if you look at I wasn't surprised at all we went for it, even though they had trouble again down there, because early in that drive, Zeke 6 yards, Zeke 24 yards, Zeke 7 yards. They were moving the ball. I thought he felt like he could get a yard on that drive the way they were doing.
At least get a yard to get a first down, to get 4 more downs.
Now, why they felt like they decided they needed to run kind of a trick play with Olawale on third down instead of running Zeke again, I don't know. Maybe it was the look, Did
Hellman tweet out something or Bobby Belt? I think Bobby Belt tweeted out something that the Cowboys have only rushed for 16 yards or 4 yards and 16 red zone. It was. I wish I need to pull it up.
I didn't see that.
Okay, I need to pull it up. But he had some, and Bobby does a lot of research on this stuff. He went back and looked, but the number of yards that they've rushed for down in that situation is small, very small compared to how they usually handle things down.
Right.
See, I think if it was fourth,
I'll find that out. Hang on.
If it was 4th and 1 at the 12-yard line, they would have kicked the field goal.
And he got a 5-yard gain to the
What
1 yard
difference does
line.
that make?
3-yard line.
Because you were at the 3-yard line and you needed 1 yard for a first down.
Well, if you're 4th and 1 at the 12, you still need 1 yard for a first down.
Yeah, I know, but you're right there next to the goal line. You got to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
I just think in that situation,
I think we're just going for it on fourth down all the time now. So
no, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think
that's what I'm seeing. Looks like we're just going every time 4th and 1. We're going for it.
So I think you're against that, Bill.
In that case, I was. It depends on the situation.
Depends on how.
Maybe he's tired of being criticized for not being aggressive.
I don't think he cares about that. I really don't.
Honestly, he does not.
I think it comes down to, is it a yard as in half a yard, a couple inches? Is it a yard and a half?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Humor me if you may. Bobby Belt, he works with he's a producer with the NFL Network. He said the Cowboys as a team have 4 yards rushing on 16 red zone carries over the last 3 weeks.
I thought it was goal to goal.
Maybe it's goal to goal.
Okay.
They got a 5-yard gain on second down.
All right.
Put him at the 3.
Well, goal to go. Well, that would not be. This was not goal to go, but they were at the
wasn't
3-yard
goal
line.
to go.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I saw. I'm
I'm
thinking oh wow, that sounds like. But doesn't that kind of play into what we've talked about though? We all like to say, oh, hey, load up and run the ball, and this isn't 2016 anymore.
You got the back, but.
You don't have the offensive line.
I think Mickey's right again. I think the trust factor there. And I'm not saying that he doesn't trust Tyrants. I'm just saying, though, when you start calling plays the way they have, it's got to creep into your mind. Like, I've got to run this thing. Yeah, I get in 13 personnel. I've got to run it to left. He ran it to who he thought his best 2 blockers were. Suafilo and Smith, and Jason Garrett even admitted this thing's got muddied up over there, and then all of a sudden, the Marcus Hunt makes a great play on a backdoor read, and yeah, you're going to have problems, but there's a lot going on, and there's a lot going, and I just hope that if they can get in the playoffs, it's not going to be the offensive line's inability down in the red zone or goal to goal or protection,
But it will be.
But you're right, Mickey. It will be.
All that said, this is my question. You've still got a rushing attack that's 4th in the league. You still got the leading rusher.
From 20 to the 20, 25 to the 25.
What makes it so different down there, you think? I mean, just the
space,
the loaded up fronts that you're
space,
seeing.
they don't create enough space.
If you're the defensive coordinator, what are you betting on? When I set my defense for 4th and 1 at the 3-yard line, what are you betting on?
A handoff to Ezekiel Elliott.
And that's where I'm setting my defense.
Yeah.
And now you got to be better to knock more people off in a short zone there.
Short field.
Or do you have to, in order to beat that, run a different play?
And throw it to the fullback.
Put that in your mind for the next time.
Let me ask you this, though. Do you think the fact that they can't run the ball down there is because they can't throw the ball either?
That's what I mean.
That you don't have. Oh, there you go.
They are so dependent.
I should have listened to your answer. My bad.
They are so dependent down there on 4 and 21 to get in the end zone.
That they have no other option.
And no one else has really stepped up and said, hey, I'm the guy. Throw me a back shoulder fade. I'll catch it.
No 88, no 82.
Yeah.
No 83. Remember, 83 kind of was a small area player there, too, when he used to play.
But if you complete a couple of those, to your point, then the next time they've got to think that in the back of their mind, that's an option, and maybe that box is a little bit.
They haven't proven that they can do that, so just load up.
Because wasn't it against Philadelphia, they tried to run the quarterback draw, and it didn't work?
Yeah. They tried to
stuffed.
They lost 4 on a handoff before. I mean, they got stuffed. That was the play they ran. They got -4. You're right. The quarterback draw. It was like the read option stuff they tried to run. Remember, he got stuffed on that one. So, yeah, their woes, I think, is more offensive line, clearly, play selection, clearly, execution, clearly.
But they've got the opponent this week where
they're awful down there.
Yes, they're last in the league.
Maybe that's the tonic you need.
That could be it.
If they don't score against this crowd right here down there, then just pack it up.
Okay. That's funny that you mentioned that.
Let's pack
I was
the
going
thing
to
up.
mention that off the top. I was talking to a friend this morning, and they basically said that same type thing was, well, if you can't beat these guys, you don't deserve to be in the playoffs
But that's
anyway.
the NFL. I mean, but I'll tell you what, though, that there were people that will admit that to you, though. If you go in these games, and that's, I always say, the strange lady, but you
and that's
kinda,
that was my answer to this person is.
You kind of look at it and you go, I wouldn't be surprised they lost this game.
Hey,
I mean, you're looking at me funny, Rob. I know, but I mean, would you? It's the NFL, right?
I'm not. Do I not subscribe to the strange lady theory? I'm
you
all
are
in on that.
You're the vice president of the strange lady
Yes,
theory.
I want 50% on T-shirt sales.
You got it.
Because
especially against this bunch, Jameis Winston, he'll turn it over, but he can also.
Brian is absolutely.
And Mike Evans,
Watch them have 500 yards of offense like they did against the Redskins. Mm-hmm. That was crazy.
And they were up 14-3 on the Saints just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They can't beat the Saints. They can't possibly lose to Tennessee. Jacksonville's Jacksonville. You can't beat Jacksonville.
Can't go to Atlanta and hold them under 31, can you?
How many times have we seen this where everybody's on one side of the room? So yeah, absolutely. You got to be ready for this team because they can move the ball and they can put themselves, like the Cowboys, in position to score points.
All right, it's one thing though for fans or media to say what we're talking about here. How much do the coaches have to convince the players not to be thinking in that same way that this is Tampa Bay? They're fine.
Your attention, your attention, that looking past somebody, whatever, and I don't think they did with Indianapolis.
No,
but if they come out and say no, we're just going to focus on it, you better damn well know what's in front of you right now. None of us want to go to. I sound so whiny right now. It's embarrassing.
What he had one more padded practice to use, and he used it yesterday.
Yeah,
and I think that meant something. It's like we need to get back to playing physical football. They pulled out the blocking sled. They were on their knees, popping up, hitting the pads. The other single sled pad thing for the linebackers, they were hitting that. I think he wanted to remind them we got to get back to hitting. And maybe they backed off the week before. And not because it was Indianapolis. It was because they had just played an overtime game, a 13-10 game that they had to grind through to win.
Yeah.
3 games, 11 days before that.
5 games in 25 days.
Yeah.
If you want to do it that way.
I think
it caught up with them.
I think they exhaled. They just okay.
We sound soft right now.
I know that is soft.
No. We sound. I mean, you would just hope that they with so much on the line to go try and get this thing at Indianapolis that they would have played better. They didn't. Mm-hmm. They didn't play.
They didn't. But
Mickey, to your point, yeah, if it takes rolling out the old Crowder sled and knocking it around a little bit, I'm all for it. I'm all for anything to try and get you back to what you did for 5 weeks when your season was on the line every week. I'm all for that.
And Miden just needed a reminder.
Yeah.
And they used it because there ain't no more padded practices.
Yeah, they'll get when they get in this playoffs, though. He'll use that.
That's right.
Yep.
But what do you have to do to get that at next padded practice?
You got to go win.
Yes, you
got to
do.
win.
I'll tell you this, though.
I mean,
you do not want to have to go to New York. Rob Phillips.
You're right about that. We've seen division games up there.
Yeah, you do not want to.
They're playing better. The first time this team played New York, it was like, how many games is New York going to win this year? Yeah. Give them credit because they fought back.
Yeah. And let like one of the teams lose, like Philadelphia or Washington. And
Washington plays on Saturday.
Yeah, and they'll be sitting there going, "Oh, if we win one, we won't be in last place."
Yeah.
What time's the Philly game? When does Philly play?
Philly's at
noon.
Philly's
Same
at
time.
noon.
Same time as the Cowboy game.
Houston's playing for a lot too. They got the second seed on the line. You know,
that's at Philly, right?
That's at Philly.
Yep.
But I'm with Brian. You just got
to win this game.
And,
My gosh.
And Zeke said it too. We got to take everything. Nothing's going to be given to us.
Back against the wall game. Did he say that?
He said back against the wall. He said must win.
Okay. Must win.
Or the other
did because the old Broadus playbook. Yeah,
why not?
That's because the other part of this. Okay, yeah, you can clinch the division if both the Eagles and the Redskins lose a game, but I mean, if you're going into the playoffs with an idea that you're going to have some success in the playoffs, you're not going in with 3 straight losses and having success in the playoffs.
Nope.
No. You got to streak into the playoffs, Tom Landry.
You got to nip this thing in the bud right now.
We're using all the old man sayings here. The old man show, getting after the old man sayings.
Streak into the playoffs.
That's Marty 5. Nip it in the bud right now, and get back on track against Tampa Bay. You're an Andy Griffith fan, aren't you? You got to be an Andy Griffith fan.
I was born in 1981.
It doesn't matter. There was on reruns. My sons-in-law, they're
Let's go to the
Andy
Final
Griffith
Four game
fans.
for LSU in 1981.
My grandson's sitting there watching Andy Griffith. He's 2 years old.
You could watch All in the Family every night.
I know the whistling open theme, but that's it. That's all.
Rob. Poor Rob has to deal with this every day.
No, I love it. You saw my tweet the other night. It was for him.
Where was it? I missed it.
It was from Grumpy Old Men, and it was just with him just going, huh?
Yeah.
What? Huh? It's like, oh, this is my life from 9:30 to 10:30 every day. Mainly with this one.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mainly with this one. He threw us under the bus.
No,
too.
not you guys.
Okay.
It was really for him.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Should have been with us last night.
That's right. We had Mike Singletary.
Oh, was that good?
Cowboys Legend Show. What a great Cowboys legend Mike Singletary was.
There it is, Kent.
Kent Garrison comes
and
through.
only a few of us could go down memory lane with Mike Singletary.
Oh, yeah. I watched him play in college. Baylor.
Yeah.
Great player. Great college player.
Yep.
For some reason, he didn't remember talking to me in the locker room in Chicago for some reason. I don't know why.
Couldn't see you.
Was that?
No, it was a one-on-one.
Oh.
Yeah.
He can see everything with those eyes.
Yeah,
he's got some big old owl eyes.
Big old
He does.
Bug eyes.
He does.
Right.
Boy,
Yep.
what a great guy.
Yeah.
That was fun last night.
And he is, you can find it whenever it gets posted on DallasCowboys.com.
William.
But he is the head football coach at Trinity Christian Academy in Addison, a high school, private school here. And he doubles up, and he's going to be the head coach of the Memphis Express of the Alliance of American Football, which kicks off training camp in a matter of days.
Wow.
Next month, and they kick off the season right after the Super Bowl.
Well, good luck to those guys.
Yeah, February 10th, maybe. It's the Sunday after.
With a week after the Super Bowl. See, there's no break. And in fact, they've got a national TV contract with CBS Sports Network, so you can watch those games right after. You watch the Super Bowl on CBS, and then the next week, CBS Sports Network, you can keep track of what's going on.
Racing season, guys.
Yeah.
Racing season. That's when it starts.
It's Daytona the week after the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There you go.
Skiing season.
Yep.
What are you talking about?
All right, we got much to get into. We want to take your phone calls. We got breaking news out of New England we will get to as well when we continue on Talking Cowboys in just a moment.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you want the most interesting, up-to-the-minute Dallas Cowboys news straight from the Star in Frisco? How about exclusive and on command? That's right, news and nuggets you can't find anywhere else. With our exclusive Cowboys content on Alexa, you can have all the answers, secrets, stories, and more. What's Stephen Jones thinking during a game? What's Joe Looney's favorite pregame meal? We take your questions to Cowboys players and coaches, and you can hear the answers directly back to you. Just say, Alexa, open Dallas Cowboys.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for a little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
A man's Stetson doesn't just protect him from life's elements. It projects an unstoppable and legendary spirit, just like the men wearing silver and navy on the field every Sunday. Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. They are still the official crown of all self-respecting cowboys. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find Stetson hats in the Pro Shop or at Stetson.com today.
Dr. Pepper is the one you crave. But how do you explain that craving?
Imagine being shipwrecked on a desert island, alone. Glass-like curls of surf pound the shore with Dr. Pepper-colored waves. Surrounded by desire, but you can't drink it because it's the ocean. Fish live in there. The only thing you want is Dr. Pepper, and you can't have it.
Now that is a Dr. Pepper craving. Dr. Pepper, the one you crave.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Here in Cowboys country, we always ride with our boys. But when it comes to your underwear, you definitely don't want them riding up on your boys. That's why we always wear Tommy John, the revolutionary brand of underwear with stay-put waistbands that keep everything in place. Tommy John, no adjustment needed, Brian. Shop exclusive Cowboys underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 20% off your first order. That's TommyJohn.com/Cowboys.
Mickey, you have your Tommy Johns on?
I do not. But you know what I need?
Bill does. The way he asked the question, he had.
I need a couple more pairs of Tommy John socks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because you know what? They keep everything in place on your calves.
They don't ride down on you?
No, they stay up.
Very good.
Wedgie free socks, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Scale listening? Pick up a couple for you.
Yeah.
There you
Go online.
All right.
Buy some. Good for you.
I don't have my Cowboys Tommy John.
I thought that's the direction you were going there, Bill.
Saving that for Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Big game Sunday?
That's right.
Big game Bob?
You need to get them signed by someone.
Oh, gosh,
That's
Mickey.
Okay, I don't need that.
Miles.
I love the expression on Rob's face when Mickey says things like that.
It's basically the Miles Austin drop.
Okay, news out of New England this morning. Josh Gordon. Well, I don't have my reading contacts in, so it's hard for me to read this. But
I can do it.
Okay, there you go. How about it, Mickey?
What do you got here?
Oh, the old man show.
Patriots wide receiver Josh Gordon is facing another indefinite suspension for violating his reinstatement under the substance abuse policy. This is being written by pro football rumors. Yeah. So his statement was he needed to step away. He was having some mental problems. I take my mental health very seriously at this point. To ensure I remain able to perform at the highest level, I am taking time away from football.
Yeah.
And then subsequently, there were numerous reports from the national NFL beat writers that a suspension is imminent.
Yeah, Jason Cole was talking about it. I know Tom Pelissero, is that how you say his name?
Pelissero.
He was saying the same thing. So they were saying that maybe he was trying to get out ahead of the suspension, and that's why he walked away from the team at this point in time.
Like in the summer, checking yourself into rehab?
Yeah. It is what it is with him. And that's a terrible way to say things, but when you talk to people in this organization about him particularly, guys were very honest. They were very honest that they're like, listen, tremendous talent. They talk about him as being a great player, but they also say there's a lot of issues with that young man. A lot of issues. That's not the marijuana. There's a lot of things that go on with this guy, and he says you can't. And these are several guys I was talking to throughout the year when that was all breaking down, right after when Cleveland let him go, that you can't. This is what their fear is, that he'll play a certain time and then boom, he's gone.
And here it is, December. It's week 16.
And the Patriots are not a 1 or 2 seed right now. The Patriots are having to fight and scratch and claw.
First 2-game losing streak in December in 16 years.
Yeah, exactly.
A little unusual.
So now you're talking about one of your better players.
And he's got 40 catches on the year.
Having to step away.
And you invested all those snaps in him, bringing him along, and now you're left high and dry where maybe it was a lesser player, but at least you invested snaps with him, and he's ready to go late December. And now you're left.
I don't think we're trying to be insensitive.
No, because there was a lot of people going, well, why didn't the Cowboys pick him up? It was only a 5th-round pick.
Well, you guys talk to the same cats I do, and they were adamant that we get the talent, but we also understand the bigger issue and the bigger picture. And they wanted to avoid exactly what happened right now to New England.
Because there's fans that said to us on the show, you're handling the Randy Gregory situation.
Yeah.
This is a really talented wide receiver. You need a wide receiver. And I think you have to take every case individually, every player individually. And
absolutely.
They made that decision that it wasn't worth it to pursue. And it's not an I told you so. It's unfortunate for him.
No,
I wish him the best, but I mean, it didn't work out in New England.
There's so many headaches you can put up with, and you're going to get diminishing returns. And he's
a really good headache,
he's one of my AS guys, right? Always something.
Rolando A.S. McClain. Didn't you nickname him that?
I mean, you're going through it with Irving.
David Irving,
through it with Randy Gregory. Yeah. How many more guys do you want to take on?
That David Irving one, I don't think is going to end well.
I don't think so. Well, I don't know about well, but
I mean, well, in a way of him being on the field.
Yeah,
I just don't. I mean, that's one of those things you do. You gambled on it. You tried to make things work, and that one's But the thing that does he love football? And all, no, Clarence, don't ask those questions. I mean, the guy obviously, it's not easy to play football. It's not. But the guy's got some serious off the field problems. And so he has to take care of those, and it takes every bit of his energy to have to take care of that. And the team tried their best to help him through. And then he gets hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt on top of it.
Yeah, and then now you're trying to, does he rehab? Or is he able to rehab? Is he here? Is he in the facility? Wait, is he taking care of that? When you're not around, it's hard to do your job. And that's what he has been. I keep saying this. One day I'm going to throw you guys a crawfish boil, and it's going to be, hey, who was the guy? That was the guy. That was the most talented football player I ever saw that didn't do anything, because of off-the-field stuff killed him for any chance he had to be the type of player that he was capable of.
Since high school.
Yeah.
Tom Pelissero's tweet about him, Patriots wide receiver Josh Gordon facing another indefinite suspension for violating terms of his reinstatement under the substance abuse policy per source. He announced today he's stepping away to address his mental health. Take it back to the Cowboys leading up to the trade deadline, and what was a 5th-round pick that the Patriots gave up to Cleveland for Josh Gordon.
I think they got a 7th back, does that make it a 6th? I don't know.
Whatever that is. And what the Cowboys do, they gave up their first to get Amari Cooper to fill their
Cowboys took a lot of grief for that.
Yep.
Took a lot of grief because also, too, what was given up in Philadelphia.
For Golden Tate.
Third
rounder.
Yeah, and you know what? I can't. Hey, as much as it pains me not to be able to talk about the 25th pick overall in the NFL draft, you did the absolute right thing. You did. You evaluated the player. You did all your legwork on the player, what type of person he was.
That's the key.
And not every single guy in this league is going to be perfect, but this guy is as close to perfect as you're going to find.
And they had connections, really good connections to this player when you think about it. Jason Garrett was in the Nick Saban camp before. Jack Del Rio is a Cowboy basically, and he coached him in Oakland, and the reviews were great, not just on the field but off the field. And that, what have we been talking about for the last 10 minutes? That's important too.
Linehan's understudy was the offensive Downing was the offensive coordinator out there prior to this year.
Nussmeier is here, coached him in college, so
coached him 2 Pro Bowls too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, that's the thing is that if you're talking to the right people that you trust, it makes all the difference in the world.
You know that better than anybody through this process, right?
Yeah, the thing about it was, my experience was with Leroy Glover. I had people in New Orleans tell me, you're not going to get a better human being, not just a great player, but a better human being than Leroy Glover. And that's when Jerry Jones asked me, I'm about to hand this guy a lot of money. You okay with this? And I'm like, sir, yes, please. Everything that I've heard about this guy is absolutely top shelf.
Dollar for dollar, the best free agent they ever signed.
Thank you for saying that. Because, but it takes people, it takes relationships. It takes that relationship with somebody in this league or in life. If I want to hire Rob Phillips, and you've worked together, and you tell me Rob's lazy, he doesn't, I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen to you. But I'm just
true.
But you know what I'm saying. I'm just using you as an example.
Right.
But it's relationships that you build where guys say, listen, I've never coached a guy or a gal that is as good as this person.
You know what? Related to the draft, and this Daniil Hunter, who is your guy from LSU.
Yeah.
I say your guy because you're an LSU guy.
Go Tigers.
And he didn't have any production on the field in college.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was enamored with him leading up to that draft.
Sure were. I remember that. Remember you talking about him.
Attributes.
Yeah.
On the day of the draft, I called his old high school coach in Houston.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to find, am I just crazy?
You missing something here?
Yeah. And he told me that kid is the hardest working athlete. It's along the same lines as what you're talking about with Leroy Glover.
Yeah.
That they will name the weight room after this guy.
Yeah.
He is incredible, okay?
Yeah.
And now he just went to the Pro Bowl, 14 and a half sacks this year.
Yeah. Great player.
But it's the same type deal that you're talking about, that the quality of the character of the person.
Yeah. There's a lot of trust. There's a lot of trust when you're involved with decisions. You have to have trust.
Especially about guys you don't have intimate knowledge about.
Bingo. Right. Bingo.
Because that's the problem with free agency.
That's exactly right. Mickey always asks a great question. Why are they letting him go?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fair question. It really is a fair question. It kind of drives me nuts at times, but it's a fair question because you wonder, okay, did he do? It's like when somebody, it's going to be well documented when David Irving tries to sign with somebody else after here. I don't think he's going to re-sign with the Cowboys. I think we've kind of gone down that road too far. But people are going to have to ask some questions about him. Is it worth it to? Well, let me tell you this. But he can do this. He can do this. He can do this. But let me tell you this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
That's the decision that someone's going to have to make on the other end. Is it worth your time? Is it worth your finances? Is it worth your effort to try and bring that type of a player in?
Don't you think that there was people in this building that had to answer that question about Des Bryant?
Absolutely.
That people called and said,
absolutely.
Okay, what?
Yeah.
And it depends on your level of trust with the person you're talking with.
Right.
Because I'm not going to tell just anybody, well, here's what I think.
Right.
But if it's one of my best friends, I'll say, hey,
recommendations are difficult. They should be difficult for you to give because you shouldn't be asked to give a lot of recommendations.
That's why we have rules in HR about giving recommendations.
Yeah, you don't want to give it. You want to, if I'm going to recommend somebody, it's going to be with my heart and soul.
Exactly.
If I just know you just a little bit, no, I'm not going to recommend people that I don't think that do a good job. I don't think you could. That's not fair to you, Bill. You asked me about Rob, and I tell you all the great things about Rob, and you still don't hire him. Well, that's on you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't hire him because he's a bum, then you're just doing your due diligence. You're doing your job.
So in the
Patriots don't care, by the way. I don't think
in the draft process when you're talking to colleges.
Yeah.
If they don't have a glowing recommendation,
they got some liars.
Do they do that, or is it? Or is silence more of a?
Yeah. Let me tell you what. You want to know the best person to talk to about a player?
Let me guess. It's either the trainer or a weight and conditioning coach.
No, the equipment guys.
Really?
The equipment guys. The equipment guys are around these guys all the time. Yeah. They know who keeps their locker messy. They know who's rude to people. They know who comes goes out of their way to help somebody, sign a ball for them, pat them on the back, tell them how great, hey, boy, those equipment kids, they make no money. Mm-hmm. But you talk to an equipment kid at a college, they'll tell you all you need to know about a player. Trainers, because of HIPAA laws now, are really, they can't do that. They can't talk like they did back in the day.
Yeah, but not about injuries, but they can talk about diligence.
Yeah, but about
you need guys. You need guys that aren't recruiting.
Yeah,
you don't
want to talk to Brian Broaddus about it. You don't want to talk to the football ops guy because I'm selling you.
Right. Oh, he's great.
But if you guys come in and maybe I don't like Mickey as a scout and I'm not really going to give him everything, but Rob comes in, I kind of like him.
Right.
Then I'll say, Rob, listen, you don't want this guy. Or hey, by the way, Rob, you need to watch this junior. He's coming out.
Right.
That's how this business works. It's relationships. We all have relationships.
That's right. And that's like recruiting, like college recruiting.
Yeah.
When you trust certain high school coaches that are going to tell you the truth, not to build their own resume because they had a player that went to go play.
When a coach is honest. But if you ever have to talk about a player, go to the equipment guys. Mm-hmm. They're the guys that are around those players 90% of the time.
Let's go to Bobby in Oklahoma here on Talking Cowboys.
Boomer.
Hello, Bobby.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Great pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I got a couple questions, both on Dak. I'm a big Dak supporter. I feel like
good
first 3 years of a career, you couldn't ask for something better.
Sure.
2 questions. One is over the off season, but the other one is more specific. I've looked at some of the research that comes out on passing charge, and something that I've always wondered this year, maybe it's more this year than other years, the deep middle of the field is not being attacked very much at all by Dallas. So I don't know if that's more of a Dak question, a Linehan question, a Garrett question, but what do you see as to why the deep middle of the field is not attacked that much? And then my next question, what can Dak specifically do over the offseason to speed up his release to get rid of the ball? Because it seems like even on some good throws, man, he's like a half second late or a full second late, where if it would have been there just a little bit sooner, the receiver had time to turn up the field more and get some yards after catch instead of just catching it and getting tackled.
Are you talking about his physical release or the processing, the mental processing?
The processing.
Okay.
Tony Romo always talked about every offseason. He was always working on something to get better. Sometimes it was his release. Sometimes it was other things. I'm just wondering what Dak can do in the offseason to speed up that process. And is it just simply he doesn't trust what he's seeing yet, or is it because he's so young and he hasn't matured there? And I'll just take those answers off the air.
All right. Thanks, Bobby. Deep middle of the field.
No Jason Witten.
Yeah. That's big right there. Yeah.
That guy used to work the middle of the field like any other. Des Bryant, those dig routes and stuff was another good one.
But why option?
Yeah.
Well, you need something to keep the free safety occupied.
Yeah, and they don't have that.
And they don't have that.
Yeah, and they also, there's a situation too. The ball was a crossing route that he missed to Cooper when he was throwing to his left. Would that be considered deep middle? Yeah, that was one. You hit those plays. He hit he hit Michael Gallup on one that was pretty good. I think they were playing might have been the Eagles, Redskins. It was third and 15 or so. 3rd and 15 was a screen, but he hit a deep middle shot to Gallup that worked out pretty well. And a couple of the passes he threw that Cooper turned into long touchdowns were kind of working that way into the middle of the field. Remember when Cooper spun out?
Yes.
When he split the double.
That was the Redskin game as well.
Yes.
That was the big game. They throw the route inside. Yeah. He makes the catch inside. He pivots off his left foot and comes back around. So, I think two things. The tight end play, deep middle. I think also, as well, that there are things that, and listen to some of the things that the Colts were talking about in this game defensively, that they felt like that they could play too deep and affect the way that he was going to throw the football. That's, again, some whispering I was hearing from some Colts guys, that they were they thought that they could, if they didn't play all single high safety and play some too deep. I think Mickey brought that up yesterday, that you can affect the way he plays by putting that extra guy in the box, that he's not, or that extra guy deep. But what does it do? It allows you now it takes that guy out of the box to run the ball.
Yeah.
So if you want to say, hey, he's not throwing the ball deep in the middle, but if they're playing too deep on him, if that's what the answer is going to be to make him have to make some throws or hold the ball, well, then you're taking a chance that Ezekiel Elliott can run the football with one less guy in the box.
But it kind of plays into their strategy of making them grind you.
Yeah, teams now are going to want Dallas to grind the ball,
because they're thinking if they get to the 15-yard
line, they can't get
they're going to make a mistake.
They're going to make a mistake.
So how much will teams now, the Cowboys' opponents, look at that Indianapolis game and Eberflus, how he defended Dallas?
You should, but again, that's Eberflus knowing route combinations too for the Cowboys.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
His knowledge of the Cowboys
that helped. They also had knowledge of him and didn't attack it well enough. Give him a lot of credit for that. But I think this is where that teams are saying, okay, if we don't play him single high and we put an extra guy, does that just that flash of a jersey make him hold it a little bit longer?
This is why they need a 40-yard touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
40 yards. So everybody's not backed off and
said,
okay, we're going to make you go underneath. Okay, well, there's a lot of reasons why he's had some 15, 20-yard gains.
Yeah, the Colt guys were talking about this too. This is all late-night conversations, that they felt like they had to stop Elliott in this game. They felt like if they can make it to where they could stop Elliott and turn it into a one-dimensional game by playing the two deep guys, that they were going to be able to affect the way that the Cowboys threw the football in that game and affect Amari Cooper. I think Amari came out and actually said that yesterday. Didn't he talk about that the two deep look was a little bit different than what they had seen?
Yeah. Which was why it was huge for them to get up 2 scores.
Yeah, they played some too deep, but then again they went to the single high stuff, so it was a mix. It wasn't like they were saying, but that they felt like that second guy on the hash was going to make a difference the way that Dak Prescott was going to throw the football.
That's why they needed to score a touchdown on the goal line.
I'm ignoring that. Speeding up his processing in the offseason.
I hate to be this guy. I think that cat is who he is. I think he is who he is. I think there's things that he's seen in his 3 years that have helped him, but I think he is what he is when it comes to his ability. Can he get better? Yeah, he can. I shouldn't say
with experience you're going to.
But experience,
is there more he can see?
It's going to come down to they've helped him with some receivers. They need to help him with these tight ends. They need to help him, like Mickey always says. How about Travis Frederick playing center again? How about a healthy Zach Martin playing right guard? How about a bigger Connor Williams playing left guard? How about a Tyron Smith that doesn't get called for holding penalties? I think the things around. He's never going to be a guy that's going to carry a team. But we've seen him. What was in the Philadelphia game? 45. How many passes he throw that game? He carried him that day.
Here's what's happening. Perceptions become reality.
perception that he doesn't see the field and stuff like that?
Yes. Yeah. And now everybody can look at a play and go, "Oh, look at that."
Yeah.
And does it happen?
Oh, they gave up a sack with
one time out of 4. Did anybody watch Jared Goff play this last week?
Oh, it was awful.
Was he not holding the football?
He was off. They weren't open at all.
He didn't know where to go with the ball.
You think it hurts him not having Cooper Kupp?
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
a ton.
Absolutely.
A ton.
That crossed my mind as I was watching the game.
Yeah, that's
like, wait a minute, the guy's missing.
That's a big miss right there.
You're exactly right.
I think the thing with Dak is that, that you're right. But they gave up a sack with max protection. 2 tight end, 12 personnel. They gave up a sack that way. Guys didn't get open. He held the ball. I mean, but also when people say, well, he needs to run with the ball. Well, it's hard to run with the ball when the middle of the pocket is coming down on top of you.
Because the last thing you want to do is go out the back end. You want to go forward. You don't want to go back.
Yeah, and get trapped.
Who would you?
Brett Favre was
work for Romo.
Romo was
no, it wasn't Romo. It was one of the young quarterbacks they had here. And it was the kid from A&M.
Stephen McGee.
Remember when he'd get in trouble? Everything it was he
had about a second clock in his head, and if the first read wasn't there, he would pull out of there.
But he would go out the back end. You can't go out the back end. Like you can't go back.
Yeah,
you got to go forward. You can't go back and around.
Well, they're getting pressure up in the middle again. This is a lot because of what's going on up front. That's clear. That's pretty clear.
All right, we continue with more of Talking Cowboys in just a moment.
If you're like me and you love, if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for a little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
It's time for Tailgating with the OtterBox boys.
The OtterBox that builds those crazy protective phone cases?
Yup. And now they're changing the side dish game with the OtterBox Trooper Soft Cooler. Lightweight, mobile, and leak-proof, Trooper is perfect for blitzing a crowded parking lot with a Frito pie.
Amazing. Hey, you think I could fit my 7-layer salmon salad into the Trooper cooler?
Yup, but please don't.
And that's been Tailgating with the OtterBox boys. Learn more about the Trooper soft coolers at otterbox.com.
While a player could look good on paper, it's when he's out on the field that you really find out what he's made of. That's why the Cowboys rely on more than just stats and scouting reports when building their team. When picking a tractor, it's why you should rely on more than just specs and features. You've got to take it out and put it to the test. The Cowboys did when they named John Deere their official tractor. Experience one for yourself. Visit myjohndeeredealer.com/football.
It can be hard to find the right resource for learning about important financial matters. You search how to build savings, you end up reading about the one weird ingredient from supermarkets that can make you taller. That's why Bank of America built BetterMoneyHabits.com, a safe little corner of the internet for answering your financial questions. Full of simple videos and tips, Better Money Habits can show you how to make the most of your money without resorting to random searches that always seem to lead to unbelievable photos of childhood stars grown up. To learn more, visit BetterMoneyHabits.com.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Back to Talking Cowboys.
Boy, we talk a lot about innovative, Essilor. Tommy John, now Jack Black.
All right, Mickey, way to hit them all.
Skincare company.
Got them glasses on myself.
Absolutely. And when you can get some Jack Black on you, boy, your facial moisturizer, your beard lube.
Yeah.
Everything they have, the Turbo Wash, certainly helps out your skin. And if you want the Playmaker, you just go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code Cowboys, and you'll get free shipping, and it only costs you $10 for the Playmaker bill. So getjackblack.com.
I'm hoping it's at least in my stocking if it's not a package that I unwrap as well.
Captain Mickey landed that one perfectly.
Innovative.
I'm not sure about
a little turbulence at the end.
I'm not sure about the takeoff on that, but
he mentioned them all.
He did, but there was
I thought he
some
forgot the
wavering.
liner at first. I thought he forgot the client.
Runway.
I thought it was an Essilor. I'm
Talking about Essilor.
The run. That's a lot to remember for
Star Sports. All those folks.
That's right.
Good job, Mick.
Way to go, Mickey. All right, now has everyone got their shopping done yet?
No.
We're waiting on you, Bill.
Yeah, I got today and tomorrow, basically. I got Saturday. No.
Saturday.
I don't want to go Saturday.
Well, you're not going anywhere. You order it.
It's too late then, isn't it?
It's probably
by Saturday. Christmas is Tuesday.
Amazon Prime.
Woo! Just put some more billions in that guy's pocket.
You know,
taking over the world, man.
Jerry was asked about Christmas shopping.
He says he goes out.
Yeah, he likes to go to the grocery store to get in the spirit of Christmas, right? Because he grew up above a
How can Jerry
store.
go shopping?
What do you mean?
I think he can.
You don't think people just bug the...
No, I think it'd be fun to kind of see him. Bill goes to Central Market. It'd be fun to see like Jerry's pushing his basket, kind of looking at what kind of stuffing he wants to make. He's kind of thinking, that goes.
You think he actually cooks?
I don't think Jerry. It's so funny. This is a bad story about Jerry Jones. I remember one time he had to make a phone call in the draft room, and he looked at the phone like, what's the number? He didn't even, he was looking at the phone like he didn't even really know. I mean, Miss Marilyn's been with him forever, and she just, Marilyn, get him on the phone. And, and so.
Dial out.
Yeah, so he's looking at that phone like, Steven. We're in the draft room. He's like, what? He's just looking like, I have to dial a number here? What do I do?
Early in Troy Aikman's career, when he was living out in Hackberry, I think there was one grocery store close. He
go shop?
He would go grocery shopping, right? Mm-hmm. Well, within a year or so, then there was a parade in the grocery store. Everybody's following him around, right? And then Emmett, I remember, he would go Christmas shopping, but he made friends with somebody in some neat little store in the mall, and they would basically shut down for an hour or two and allow him to come in. And
he was going to make up anything he lost.
He was going to buy.
Yeah.
But they would shut down so he could. So now they've got everybody outside the windows looking in like, oh, there's Emmett. He's shopping, But they would shut the store down for him because he couldn't go. He just couldn't do it.
Wow.
I think it's bad that you can't just go out and get a hamburger. You're that's famous.
Right.
That's the one. And you can do it, but then you run the risk of being rude. Like you're ignoring
like
people.
Nate.
Like I gotta go get it.
Nate's famous. I'm not saying it's not true.
He is.
That's the one.
Nate's nice. He'll also, if you invade his space, Nate will be rude to you now too.
Mm-hmm. I've heard stories.
Yes. If you're a fan, I think if a celebrity is dining, that's the one no-go zone, I think. If you want to walk up to somebody, whether at the grocery store, okay. But if somebody's trying to enjoy a meal, don't ask for a selfie. Don't do any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was good about last night when Mike Singletary sat down to have dinner with his wife.
Yeah.
No one bothered him.
Yeah.
And I was keeping an eye on it just to.
And that's, you'll get that because of the clientele.
That club, there's no phones in that club. You're not allowed to take pictures or anything upstairs.
No phones.
No phone. Yeah.
Cameras.
That's it. Yeah.
But no one came. Hey, I just wanted to say hi to you.
Yeah.
It was cool.
That's all right. But you also should say hi to people when they say hi to you.
And he did.
You know what I'm saying? No. I mean, we're in the business. I mean, we're hanging out with a lot of folk.
Hey, it's just us.
Yeah. No. So, exactly.
You want to bother me for dinner? It's fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
You want to pick up my dinner? That's fine too.
Yeah.
But you're thinking about Tiger Woods and people like that.
Yeah, I wasn't lumping us into the celebrity category, but yes,
Mickey in the celebrity category.
Yeah, Mickey maybe. Mickey, Tiger.
Just remember, when they quit saying hi to you, you're in trouble.
That's exactly right. That's a good
point. There you go.
Good point.
Tampa Bay, what are you most concerned about the Buccaneers as they match up with the Cowboys?
Moving the football against you. I just worry about that.
Lead the league in passing yards.
I worry about their ability just to say, you know what, we're not very good, and we're just going to throw the ball all over the place and see if you can cover. We'll see if we can protect first. If we can protect, we're going to make some plays on you. We're going to make some plays down the field. I worry about chunk plays against this. Cowboys done a great job, though, of handling the chunk plays. Yeah, but this team's capable of doing it. I worry about the Mike. This team drops a lot of balls, though, too, which is kind of funny to watch them play. But I worry about them all of a sudden catching balls. and then making those big plays. That would worry me a lot.
They got a lot of guys that can make plays down the field. We talked about Mike Evans the other day. Deshaun Jackson was limited in practice yesterday. If they get him back, everybody knows what he can do still.
And he's missed the last 3 games.
Yeah. What he can still do as a deep threat. I mean, even at tight end,
he
O.J.
killed
Howard is a
Philadelphia.
talented guy. I mean,
But Howard's out.
Howard's out.
Is he out?
Yeah, he's out.
Yep, he's out.
Well, they've got guys that can, get up the field.
And they got Cole Beasley in the slot.
Yep, they sure do. Adam Humphries, that guy. Good job, Bill. You scouting these guys up, though. But, Cameron Brate, the tight end, is the guy. That's probably who you were talking about right there.
Right.
And so, I would be they got capable offensive players. But on paper, they've got guys that could sack you on defense, too. If you look at,
JPP's got 11.5 sacks.
Yeah, Jason Pierre-Paul, and then on one side, and Carl Nassib, who came from the Browns.
Yeah, he's got like 6.5.
Yeah, they got rid of him. The Browns just said, John Dorsey.
Tired of his financial advice.
John Dorsey just got rid of him, and all of a sudden he gets claimed in Tampa. He's got 6.5 sacks, which is, is more than he had when he was with the Browns. So they're very capable. You have to deal with Gerald McCoy, and we talked about Vita Vea, the big defensive tackle.
He's very active.
Where the Cowboys have had struggles with pass protection has mainly been inside, and those are big cats you have to deal with.
And then Levante David, linebacker.
He can run.
Yep.
He can run and make
Pierre-Paul didn't he DNP yesterday?
Yes, he did.
He did?
I thought I saw that. Here's the problem with them, with their offense. They don't have a conscience.
Yeah.
The quarterback will just throw it up.
There you go.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He won a national championship without a conscience, too.
And that's what scares you, because they may be leading the league in passing, but they also lead the league in turnovers.
Yeah.
So they don't care if they throw an interception.
Yeah.
But by golly, at one point, as my daddy used to tell me, a blind squirrel will find an acorn every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And you might land one of those. So that's what scares me.
Yeah.
Because they don't care.
That he's exactly right. That's when you have a team that's playing with house money, basically just, okay, we're going to try and make you sweat another week.
Yep. And are they going to keep their coach?
Yeah, they're probably not.
Yeah. And so they just.
Yeah, this is just one of those. Now you could go to win this game. You need to go out there and take their will. Is what you need to
right
do.
away.
Yeah,
right.
Don't have a Tennessee game where all of a sudden you get a turnover 2 and it's a 3-0 game. Don't get into one of those.
Mm-hmm. Or like
don't
did
give
against
these guys,
the Saints where you actually fall behind 14-3.
Go out and destroy these guys' will to compete. That's what you've got to do against these guys.
Give them a little soft pillow to lay their head on.
Yeah.
They'll go bye-bye.
Hopefully.
And their defense has been injury-riddled from the beginning of the season.
And they fired Mike Smith, the DC, and then in the last 4 games they've been awful on defense.
They lost Quan Alexander and Hargraves at cornerback.
Yeah,
and
they're trying.
A couple of safeties.
Yep. They're trying to put things here. Brett Grimes plays for him. That Carlton Davis from Auburn is a corner that plays for him. They got a really cool little safety, though. Jordan Whitehead. I wrote about him as one of my under-the-radar guys. A physical player could cover. He's the guy now. You talk about the tight ends for the Cowboys have had some success catching footballs. Jordan Whitehead, number 31, will be in coverage on your tight ends, and he's capable of doing that. That's one thing he was able to do at Pitt. He was kind of a nickel safety that they use that way, but he plays a lot in coverage. So the tight ends for the Cowboys are going to have to deal with number 31, Jordan Whitehead. Keep an eye on that.
When you scout these opponents, do you look at snap counts for the opponents at all?
No,
you're just looking at film.
I just look at who lines up where
right,
and who plays where.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting though but looking at it and just seeing how much players are being used and so forth. Just as a quick glance. And you can see how they operate both offensively and defensively.
Right.
So but to the point that we talked about early in the show about getting these players' attention that, Tampa Bay can beat you.
Yeah.
You just look at their front 7 on defense and the players that they have from Jason Pierre-Paul to a 6-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a 3rd pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Vita Vea was the 12th pick in the draft.
Yeah.
JPP was a 1st-round pick. Levante David was a 2nd-round pick. These are guys that can win.
Is your film session up yet on the website?
I'm not sure when they post that. It's part of the Jason Garrett show, but Will McClain was talking about that yesterday.
Talking about Vita Vea, and I mean, he was a guy
we talked about drafting him here. Yeah, absolutely.
Big, athletic, talented guy.
He's huge.
That you got to deal with.
Yeah.
Pierre-Paul, by the way, was a DNP, but if he can go, obviously everybody knows what he can do as a pure pass rusher.
And Zach Martin was a DNP yesterday, right?
Yeah. Big day for him today.
Although he's getting closer. I think he's doing more on the side than he was last week. So we'll see. But
I want to see it on the side.
Yeah, they need him to play.
Well, that was what we heard, right? That he was trying to ramp it up a little bit and get closer to getting back to practice.
But the deal with the MCL, you can't work it. It's got to heal on its own.
Yeah.
You know, you can put a brace on it and see how well you do, but it's not like, I'm going to work real hard on my rehab and it's going to get better.
But he's been playing with it.
I know, and that's the worst part.
As we look at practice reports this week, does he need to be limited in practice to be able to play in the game?
I think he's one guy that doesn't necessarily have to practice.
I don't think so either. I just think today, because last week's pattern was no practice Wednesday, no practice Thursday, and now you're thinking, okay, we're getting close to him not playing.
I think if it had been a home game, he would have been listed as DNP, questionable.
Okay.
Because you're not going to drag him to a away game if you think he's not going to play.
Right.
So this week, maybe you take it all the way till 10:30 Sunday morning.
All right. That does it for Talking
That's
Cowboys. Because I hear music.
Yeah.
That means it's time to go.
Bye.
Time to go shopping.
Bye. Go shopping.
Okay,
Go
talk
shopping,
tomorrow
Bill.
on Talking Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?